That sounds.
At the a very loud clap.
How many times have I had this dream that wakes me from my slumber?
I think writing music and recording music is always therapy for me, because it involves the subconscious. I write music and then I ask the music to tell me a story, so I have to become attuned to what's happening in my subconscious, and my subconscious, of course, contains very much the past and very much an idea about what the future could be. So the metaphor of the whole record is the bridge. And so I'm trying to bridge the past and the future, the present and the future. So it's interesting you would say that. Thank you.
This is the sound of atmospheres, 3 metric tons of pressure.
Well, you know, they're my old friends. And when Branford appears on the record, it's like an old friend walking into your house. You know, it's a very welcome sound. It's a signature sound that people associate with me and Branford. Manu Katché as well. He has a very distinctive sound on the drums. I know it's Manu every time I hear him. It's great to work with musicians for many, many years because you develop a rapport, you develop a sense that they know exactly what I want without me having to say very much, and vice versa. So there's that relationship makes the record warm, it makes the record intimate. And a lot of these recordings were made remotely in, you know, different continents. I might have been in Italy, Manu is in France, a drummer in Los Angeles, but the technology exists where you can do that. And so the problem was to make it intimate. But we did that because of our friendship.
How many times have I had this dream that wakes me from my slumber?
You know, the microphone is a very interesting invention. Singers with a microphone sing in a very different way to opera singers. Opera singers are designed to sing without a microphone and fill a large space, whereas the experience of a listener for the microphone voice is here, and it's very, very close. You can be inside someone's head. I'm not singing any differently. I just turned the vocal up. I wanted the vocal to be very present, and so you're actually with me in your head, if you want to be. It's a choice.
This is the sound of atmospheres.
Well, it's not about refugees, even though I wouldn't contradict your interpretation. I'm glad you have that, because it's connected, but it's actually about where I come from. I live on the border of England and Scotland, the hills there. Many, many battles have been fought. Many men and boys have died fighting for their kings over this land, and those hills are very haunted, so it's a ghost story. But the idea of going to the border for me is a metaphor about death, really. Yeah. But I like your interpretation. I think it applies too. It's a good one. It's an intelligent one.
But also you talk about to walk through the valley of fear, and that's why I'm thinking about the refugees.
I think that's our psychological state, you know, living as we do, we are approaching that valley of fear, and we have to do it with courage. Yeah, I wanted to write a song about a European seaport. Many people have written about Amsterdam, so I thought, let's go a little south a little. Antwerp is a city I know well. It has a beautiful kind of melancholy, you know, with lots of water, and it's also the home of many, many fantastic Flemish painters, Rubens. So it's a song about a painting by Rubens with St. Thomas and the wounds of Christ, the stigmata of Christ.
And you use the bell.
And the bell, it's not actually a bell from Antwerp. I stole it from somewhere else.
Should I spend all day in bed?
Well, first of all, Otis Redding's recording of that song is a masterpiece, and I would never have even thought about recording it. Why? Why would you do it? Except I was asked by the Alzheimer's Society There's a lot of research about people who suffer from Alzheimer's getting a great deal of solace from old songs. They remember old songs. So they said to me, well, what song would you choose? What song would you want to remember? And of course, I love this song. So I said, well, I'd choose Jock of the Bass. So they asked me to record it. I recorded it. It's an homage to Otis, but there's no way I could make it better. I just wanted to pay homage to that great song.
For the future of the rock music.
You're asking me to acknowledge differences between music forms: rock, soul, pop, blues, jazz. It's bullshit. It's music. I don't acknowledge these territories. I can play in all of them. I listen to all of them. I respect all of them. There are no borders for me in music. It's a spectrum. It's a common language that connects all of us. It is a bridge. There is no barrier in music.
Love, it has no season. If it's love, there is no cure.
My job as a songwriter, a singer, is to invest as much energy into an old song as a new song, as if I'd written it today. I always find something incrementally new, a tiny little thing. The audience won't notice, but I will find something. Oh, I haven't done it that way before. Or I didn't quite understand that word before. Or I changed the harmony, or changed the tempo, changed the color of a song. A song's a living thing. It's an organic thing, and it's not a piece in a museum. It's not an exhibit. It's a living, breathing thing. No, I don't think it has. I think what had changed was the cycle of my work. I write, I record, I tour. And my touring was curtailed by the pandemic, so it just shifted the cycle. I stopped touring, I had to go straight to the studio. So now I'm back on track. So I'm about to start touring. So I have an album, so I'm happy I'm back on track.
Where could this smile have come from? It's a muscle that I rarely...
The best memory. I had no idea what this record was about. As I say, it was written by my subconscious, but then I laid the songs out and listened to them all and went, I see there's a connection between each of these songs, and it's this. The characters I'm writing about, it's not always me, are always in transition. They're in between life and death, in between sickness and health, between joy and sorrow. Everyone is looking for the bridge to the future, and that's the central metaphor for the whole record. Then I wrote the song The Bridge because of that, so they're connected. That makes me happy.
Classic 21.
Classic 21.
The Rock Generation Radio.